Hey, what's popping, baby? Hey, listen, man. We in the building. No intro. That is the intro. That's how we getting down this evening, afternoon, whatever you want to call this, right? We back in the kitchen, baby. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? You know how we had to rep, man. I had my boy Rock. I called him up. He said, man, I'm at the doctor's, man. I ain't feeling good. I got to drink some ginger ale because Granny told me to. So I sent him a case, DoorDash, rush delivery, and my boy is back. He coughing now because he tried to let me know it ain't work. God dang it, Rock. Rock, we back, baby. We back. I got you muted. My bad, Playboy. How we feeling, man?
I got the medication. I found out I had a sinus infection that just settled in for the long sleep. So we're gonna be cooking now. So hopefully that takes care of everything. But we got some breaking news,
Yes,
and
sir.
we couldn't wait till next Tuesday.
No, sir. No, sir, man. We couldn't wait. It was breaking news, and it was news that needed to be broken from us, man, for sure. I seen a couple people this morning, man. They was talking that gibberish, talking that this, talking that. Listen, man, I was sitting in the house, and you know I'm up, right? I had to take my kids to school. I get the alert, and I'm looking on Twitter. It ain't really there, but it's there. So, you know me, man. I grabbed my phone, just to double check, and my very first reaction, man, right away was
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, damn, hold up, right? So I'm spiraling, I'm going crazy, trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. And if you saw my tweet earlier, I shared it, man. 3 years ago on draft night, I said, Cowboys get George Pickens. That is all. That's literally what I tweeted. And 3 years later, we back, baby. We here. We got my dog. I tried to get my Shiesty mask, man. I couldn't find one. I threw them all away. I was going to wear Shiesty for y'all. So I said, let me get my Ric Flair, Macho Man, and all that good stuff on, man. The stars of the line. And I'm pretty much gaslighting this situation. But we got some people tapped in. Let's tap in with y'all, man. This ain't your normal episode. We just want to tap in, man, have a little bit of fun with y'all with this breaking news. And not let everybody else give y'all their opinion. We want to give y'all ours. So I see my boy Red say, yeah, Fizz, he make a special episode for his Cowboys. Listen, man. I try to tell you, Michael Irvin told me a long time ago, do not get extorted from the motherfucking family. So I said, hey, I ain't trying to get kicked out of the family, bro. You feel me? He watches
That's some scary ass shit. That was one of the scariest things I've ever seen anyone do.
Get exonerated from the motherfucking family. So I said, I'm back, baby. I'm back. You feel me? I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. We got 6 rings in the building, man. He said it's gonna be a massive deal when the Dallas Cowboys trade CeeDee Lamb and sign Pickens. All right, man. Y'all in here trolling, man. I see my boy Jake. He said the price on CeeDee Lamb done went up, huh? I don't know, man. We're gonna talk about that, Jay. We're gonna talk about that, man. I think it might have went down a little bit. I might be able to buy the premium, not so premium value, man. But anyway, man, we here, man. We appreciate y'all. Keep filling in, man, on the good old chat. And me and Rock gonna get straight to it, maybe. I'm gonna pull y'all comments up as we go. But Rock, man, I got these graphics, man. I was in the house cooking, man. I had to get in the kitchen while you was in the doctor's office. And I said, yeah, man, let's get busy, man. So breaking news, George Pickens traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Compensation is a 3rd round pick and I believe a 5th round swap in 2027. So what's your first reaction, Rock? Your first thoughts and where we at with it, man?
I think my first thoughts were, thank God they learned from last year. Last year, they probably regressed more than any other team, and it showed. They were pretty apathetic in the offseason. And we understand that, Dak Prescott, he suffered an injury and missed after, I think it was week 10 through the rest of the season. But they were not ready to compete in 2024. So I think this was a great move because what we saw in the NFL draft, they went for the meat and potatoes when it came to their positions. They were attacking the trenches. They understood that you can't just be all glitz and glamour like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, where it's just a show, So they attacked those positions in the draft. I would have wished that they would have still invested in a better running back than Javonte Williams. I don't know if there's anyone that's in a similar situation as George Pickens that's a disgruntled playmaker at the end of their rookie contract that they can also trade for too. That might be a little bit too rich, but overall, I love the aggression that they have this season compared to last year because they didn't attack RB so much or wide receiver in the NFL draft outside of Jaden Blue. So I absolutely love this move, but we're going to get into some different things. That's my instant reaction right there. But like when I woke up this morning, exactly like you said, what the hell is going on right now? I absolutely love the move, though.
Well, my instant reaction instantly.
What the hell? What the hell?
Listen, man. When I tell you, one, I'm a George Pickens guy. That's been my guy since forever, right? Coming out of college, man. He reminded me of a Dez Bryant with that dog and mentality. So I really, really want us to draft him. We didn't draft him. Pittsburgh got him. I'm like, cool, that makes sense. Pittsburgh, that's their thing, right? They get those receivers that people don't want, and they seem to prime them and get them right. Seeing what we did in the draft this year, Rock, I believe maybe they already knew they had this Pickens move, because remember, we heard during the draft, George Pickens to the Cowboys is a conversation. Like they were saying that during the draft, it just didn't happen. So maybe they didn't go draft any other prime receivers or other position of on offensive need because they knew they had this in their back pocket. I just think maybe the language of which pick compensation was really the topic, but I think the Cowboys knew this all along, and us as the fans, just more me as a fan, knowing that these Bammers don't make trades, they don't make big splash moves, and when you look at the NFC East with Philly with 2 or 3 guys over there that can lock in on offense every week. You got the Commanders now taking a step up, going to get Debo, maybe making even more moves. You can't be the Dallas Cowboys who seem to go back and forth with running this division and not step up your game, bro. And like you said, the regression, I know Dak wasn't there, but the regression was so bad last year and there was no inspiration, right? I said with this running class, I know we weren't going to draft one, but why not take one? Because it gets the group chats in the locker room hype. It gets the players saying, man, y'all see what we got? Oh, yeah, I can't wait to get to work. I guarantee you this George Pickens trade, every player on that team is texting each other, tweeting each other, on FaceTime. They doing whatever it takes to make sure everybody know it's up. We back, baby. You feel me? Like the stamp is on the package and it's going to the mailbox. So I'm hyped, man, as a fan to finally see this old, washed up, thinking of we can just keep winning, in the trenches by adding nothing else. I get it. The trenches count. But when it come down to them playmakers, man, you need them, man. We got a dog that's a playmaker who already said, man, I just read something that said Pickens don't want an extension this year. You're not looking for one. You want to prove yourself as a top-tier receiver. And why not bet on yourself when you got Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb on the field next to you? So I believe the best George Pickens that we've seen will come in 2025. That's how I'm
if he came out in this year's class, where would you think he would rank as far as the other wide receivers?
Are you saying his rookie, or are you saying right now? Currently?
Right now, if Pickens was a rookie in the NFL draft, where would you think you would rank him?
Good question. He would be top 3 for me for sure.
Yeah,
he'd be top 3. I would take him over Matthew Golden. I would take him over Luther Burden. I love me some Luther. Don't get me wrong, but I just think, man, George Pickens coming out of college, he had a lot of injuries. His injury history was
dropped him down
tough.
at Georgia. Yeah,
it was. His injury history was tough, but literally, like Red said, behind Chet and behind Hunter, no question. But Matthew Golden and all them other guys, I'm taking Pickens over them, no question, bro.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why they made this trade and didn't even necessarily go for a wide receiver in the NFL draft. If they already had this cooking, maybe marinating before they reached out to the Pittsburgh Steelers before the NFL draft, maybe they waited to pull the trigger just in case Tet fell to them at 12 or one of these other things. So no I think it was great. It was great on the Dallas Cowboys, the way it all played out.
Yeah, no doubt, man. My boy Joey Cheesestick said, what a day. Hey, man, it's a day to be me every day, baby. But today is the good day. You hear me? I'm glad I'm off work on Wednesdays, Playboy. I will say that. So, Rock, man, looking at, the breaking news and what happened, let's look at the other side of things, right? We got Pickens, which I found a graphic with him with the number 14. Does he take 14 back? Because I know his number is like 4 now or 5 or something like that. So does he say, hey, man, Pickens out of here. Let me get my damn number back. That
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
That's a side conversation. But reality of this conversation, fantasy-wise, dynasty-wise, NFL-wise, where we at with Pickens and where we at with DK Metcalf? Where they line up, man? DK is literally locked in as the 101 now on his team. Not that he wasn't, but it's a clear path. Does Aaron Rodgers want to come here now? Do you say, oh, hell no, I don't want I heard they're pursuing Alan Lazard right now from what I heard. So you got You got Lazard, you got Calvin Austin, you got
they can't get Devontae Adams, and you're not going to be able to get Jordy Nelson or any of his other
they got
old
Robert Woods,
crewmates.
man. They got Robert Woods.
Yeah, so I think that this is by far probably one of the worst offensive situations I have seen for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
100%.
And Mike Tomlin, like, he hasn't won a playoff game, and I think it's either 9 or 10 years now. He's got playoffs, but hasn't won one in close to a decade now. I think the last one that they won was against Aaron Rodgers when they went to the Super Bowl and lost against him. But so DK Metcalf, I did look this up. KTC, he's the wide receiver 25, which is worth about a late 25 first. And then for Pickens, he's the wide receiver 33, which is worth a late 27 first. I don't see DK Metcalf stock really changing all that much because everyone, if you try to trade for him, people are going to be saying, "Oh, I want to see what the quarterback situation is going to be before I move him." Mm-hmm. So DK Metcalf's going to stay where he's at, and let's just say worst case scenario, they actually do have to play Will Howard a lot sooner than they thought because maybe Aaron Rodgers, he is completely content with not only waiting, but he also could just retire. You know, I think that's also part of the reason why. I mean, he's 43 years old. And to rush him back into a situation that is now definitely worse than it was 24 hours ago.
Yes, sir.
Rushing in that situation, the team has been on the decline. They keep trying to build the old school way, and it just hasn't panned out. I think the only person that benefits in this situation whatsoever is Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson, Arthur Smith now has his ideal offense, which is basically one alpha wide receiver, a couple of tight ends in Washington and Freiermuth, and then 2 running backs. That is it. It is going to be just an even uglier form of old school AFC North football, which is running the damn ball and their defense, so that they attacked in the NFL draft. But outside of that, I think that's the Steelers side. I don't think things are going to look too good for the Steelers next year.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we all was hyped when we thought it was going to be straight bully ball in Pittsburgh, right? We was going to see George Pickens punching off helmets and DK elbowing people, right? We thought it was going to be the Royal Rumble, the Dudley Boys, TLC, Hell in a Cell, all that, man. But unfortunately, it was none of those things. So it is what it is, and it was what it was. Numbers wise though, Rock, can we get it? What's your realistic take for DK Metcalf? Like where you got him at? I had pulled some numbers on George Pickens over his 3 years in Pittsburgh. 2022, he had 84 targets, 52 receptions, 800 yards, 4 touchdowns. 2023, 63 receptions, 106 yards, 1,100 yards. My fault. 100 targets, 63 receptions, 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns. And last year he had 100 targets, 59 receptions, 900 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So in 3 years, he's never made over 5 touchdowns. He's never had over 1,200 yards, and he's never had over 65 receptions. So being in that Pittsburgh offense to even have 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns, bro, is amazing, right? You had a different quarterback every 5 minutes. I just think him going to Dallas, if Dak can stay healthy, I think Brandon Cooks had at least 600 yards last year. And we know what CeeDee Lamb can do. So George Pickens in a Dallas Cowboy offense, I think this hurts Jake Ferguson, slightly.
I don't think not all that much because it's going to be Dak Prescott, man. It's going to be Ferguson, CeeDee Lamb, and Pickens.
I think Ferg is going to get those Kelsey, those dirty yards that when he's wide open for no apparent reason across the middle type stuff.
Because Pickens ain't going to go over the middle. He's only going to be going deep. So, I think it's going to be solid for them. If we're looking at just DK Metcalf.
Yeah, what's going to be DK Metcalf love, bro?
Mason Rudolph is going to be your day one starter, man. That's it. So, it's going to be kind of tough.
Who you say it again?
Mason Rudolph is going to be their day one starter. That's who their quarterback is right now.
Come on, man.
Isn't that awful? That's pretty bad. So,
yeah, man. Go ahead. I ain't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, brother.
So, I don't know too many people that were trading necessarily for DK Metcalf after he made the move. You know, it's just a whole lot of uncertainty. I think like I said before, the only players that I want on the Steelers offense is going to be Jalen Warren and Caleb Johnson. Let's just move on from the Steelers. Outside of why do you think the Steelers made this move? That's the only thing I want to ask before we can just completely focus on Cowboys for the rest of this.
I'm going to be honest, Rob. I have no clue, but I will say this. Maybe they didn't see a future of them re-signing them. So just saying we don't have a quarterback, and they might be second guessing if Rodgers coming, right? So if you second guessing if Rodgers is coming, why keep George Pickens and let the price go down? Because if we start week 1 and week 2 and that offense look worse than what we think is going to be, then it's like, man, Pickens pricing went down. He might got an injury, whatever the case. Just get the most you can get while you can get it, because it don't look like they're happy or they're looking at a 500+ season like Mike Tomlin holds the record for right now. So I think right now, bro, I think they really made this trade because in 2025, I don't think they believe in themselves no more. I think they came into the draft thinking so, because they would have drafted a receiver if they thought, why not? Well, why wouldn't they draft a receiver if they really thought things were going to happen? But hey, man, I'm kind of glad Shador ain't go there now, man. I'm glad my boy, it's a circus over there. I thought Cleveland was bad. Oh, hell no, man. Hey, look, man, as a Ravens fan, how you feeling right now, Rob?
Yeah, I just saw Redword said that I'm happy as hell. From a football perspective, I am. It's fine, but there are rivals. I like when our rival is at full strength. Yeah. It just makes the playoffs and just the regular season that much better. When we go in there and slap their cheeks around, we beat them like 40, whatever it was. We just absolutely destroyed them. We absolutely destroyed them last year. That's just no fun, No doubt. I don't like seeing Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers, not playing to their highest potential. But even with that, they still somehow made the playoffs last year, man. So it's just like they are taking a significant step down at quarterback, and with their playmakers, and they're not going to. I don't think they're going to be able to make the playoffs now. So you could clip that. It would be wild if somehow they do. If where we're at right now, May 7th, and we fast forward and they somehow make the playoffs, how the hell are they going to be able to do that? So I want to see what Tomlin, if he's able to pull that rabbit out of the hat. But outside of that, man, it is what it is.
So before we move on from the Metcalf thing, give me a value, bro. Right now, I think he was like a receiver 3 in fantasy before this. Where you got him at now?
He's a wide receiver 25 today. He's going to definitely, I think if Pickens is wide receiver 33 and DK is 25, would you be surprised if they flipped positions in the next couple days? If DK slides down to 33 and then
you think
Pickens goes up to 25?
Meaning that he has a clear path to just any target on the team?
I don't think I think people are going to finally wake up to the situation, how bad it's going to be, because things have not gotten better. There's just so much information that's gone on. People are still thinking about the NFL draft, about rookies, and maybe they weren't paying attention to what was cooking over in Pittsburgh. I think that's what it was. So, now that we're in this time of the year where we can focus on different things, there's not much else happening. People are going to wake up, and I think they're going to flip positions.
Well, shout out. We got George, Cowboys fan. We appreciate you, Big George. In the building, he say subscribe, man. Make sure you hit that like button, but we appreciate you, brother. Hold on, Big George. I'm just trying to get you there we go. We got some money in the building. We got some money, man. That was my quick little money machine. It was kind of weak, but I'm sorry, George. We appreciate you though. But I did want to say this, man. I found this that was kind of worthy of talking about, Rob. Arthur Smith, 6 seasons, had 1 receiver in the top 20 as a OC play caller. DK Metcalf in 6 seasons had reached the top 20 1 time. So him and Arthur Smith seem like a perfect match to me, bro.
He's perfect for best ball. He has those spike weeks. There was a couple of games 2 years ago where he just absolutely went off, but that was with Geno Smith. So
well, I sound like you don't want to talk about
the Steelers. I don't think it's going to be a good situation. I don't think anyone's going to really buy him. And if you are going to trade him away, I'd be willing to take 2 seconds for him. I think if you ask for a late first, no one's going to give it to you. So good luck with that.
Well, I seen T. Higgins go for 2 seconds, so I could believe it.
Damn, really?
Yeah. But so look, man. This is say we do get Aaron Rodgers in the building. We get Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. We got Mike Tomlin, Mr. 500 himself.
Yes.
What are we realistically thinking about DK then? If Aaron Rodgers says, you know what, I'm willing to ride through hell with
That's a 1-year Band-Aid, Fizz.
It is, but
It is.
it's
So
still
all
1
I'm going
year,
to
though.
say is
Still
that
1
is
year.
your chance to trade him away then.
Okay. All right.
That is your chance to trade him away. Just like all those running backs we talked about yesterday that survived the NFL draft that people were worried about. If you're worried about a player, that means that if you have a chance to sell them, you better trade their ass away. Because things usually in the NFL, they get worse, Fizz. They don't usually get better. Pickens is getting a second life right now. So I think we're good with the Steelers talk now. I want to just focus the rest of this on the Cowboys.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I saw my boy E said earlier with Pickens actually play hard every game. And I'm not trying to make this comparison, E. I am not. Please don't hold me to this. But we saw Randy Moss and guys like Randy Moss who are great athletes, great receivers at their position, who take plays off and time off because they're in situations that they wake up to, man, and they just hate it, bro. It's like when you go to work every day, Rock, and you like, man, I know what's coming when I get there. I don't even feel like getting out the car. But then all of a sudden you get in a new job, a new situation, a winning situation. You like, bro, I'm waking up early for work. I ain't never been this early. So I think that's what's going to happen to Pickens, man. He already said that he betting on himself. He don't want a contract. He want to play to show people that he is a true receiver, number one, or whatever you want to call it in this game. So I think, man, we're going to get the best George Pickens we ever seen. And those freakish athletic one-hand catches behind the back pocket, man, Dak will throw that ball with precision. And just imagine if he was catching them type of passes from Rudolph and Kenny Pickett. Imagine what Dak going to do, bro. I mean, the biggest winner in this situation is Dak. I know George Pickens is a winner, but Dak Prescott finally getting the tap on the shoulder like, coach, GM. Jerry Jones is the GM and owner, but finally, you pay me all this money, but you want to keep blaming me for losing. Finally, you give me some tools to bring to work and work with. So I just think it's wheels up, man. I'm hyping, I'm gassing right now, but I just know this, Rob. I keep telling you that every year we're going to win 9 to 10 games and we get in the playoffs to stink it up. This is inspiration to make me say, if we win 9 to 10 games, we can win that playoff game now, baby. So let's get it, man. I'm looking forward to it, Rob. Give me a breakdown on this Cowboys tantrum, the big 3 and Big D. No Diddy with it, and let me know what's up, man. You know, let me know.
I could not help it while you were saying, like, this is going to be our year. The fucking Bart Simpson meme where he's in the classroom. It's like, say it again. This is our year. And everyone's laughing.
Speaking of a meme, I don't have the video, but CeeDee Lamb must have knew something that we didn't know. Because I saw at 10:50 last night, the trade didn't break out till
this morning.
6 something this morning in Eastern time. CeeDee Lamb made a post last night at 10:50. Welcome, you know what I'm saying? Welcome, Pickens. We appreciate you being here, my boy. So he knew before we knew, you know what I'm saying? So shout out my boy CeeDee for showing some love. Like I said, the group chat is full of memes and gifts right now, Rock. I'm telling you, man. That awesome. Receiver room is going crazy. But go ahead, what you was about to say though, bro?
So for me, when I was looking up different stats for the Cowboys and just where their offense was, I went back to 2 years ago when the Cowboys were a top 5 offense. Dak Prescott was a top 5 quarterback in fantasy football. Yep. This has to be by far the best wide receiver duo he's had in his career. 100%. Would you agree?
100%. Yeah. I mean, well, Amari Cooper was a dog too, bro. You can't. Yeah. I wouldn't take, because remember he had Coop, but this wasn't prime Dak though. This was
who was their number 2? Gallup during that time,
and CeeDee was the 3. But I will say this was young Dak. This was. I haven't reached my pinnacle, Dak. Now he's got that, seasoning that if he had Amari Cooper, Gallup, and CeeDee at that time, this would be a Matt Stafford season for Dak 100%. But I think now he's in his prime enough to, you can sure that with an elite weapon like Gallup, he'll get back to whatever ranking you want to put him at. But go ahead, bro. My bad.
So I did feel bad last year. I bailed somebody out who had Dak Prescott, who got hurt, and I gave him Jared Goff, and all I asked for on return was a third on top. And I was like, man, I should have squeezed him a little bit harder. This is the way that Mike has taught us, where if someone's in that type of situation and they're screwed at quarterback, you put the heavy-ass tax on them. I did not. And I'm very thankful that I did not let that deal slide just because I wanted an extra third or a second or anything like that. Yeah, I'm feeling really, really good now about Dak Prescott going into this season. I'm super excited also, too, CeeDee Lamb, he got all those double coverages, maybe even some triple coverages, because they had outside of that, they had Tolbert and like Brandon
Please
Cooks.
don't
I think
remind me, Rock. Don't remind me, man.
it was a rough situation for them last year. I'm surprised they won as many games as they did with that backup quarterback. But I think with this situation right now, I think we should expect not only a career, I think we should expect a career year for all three of these guys. Yeah. I think Pickens does get 1,000 yards. I think CeeDee Lamb, maybe he's knocking on 2,000 yards. And I think they're going to be passing the hell out of the ball.
I was just about to say that. I remember I always say this, but we don't run the ball anyway. Look at our running back room. That's no inspiration to say
Javonte, Sanders, and Jaden Blue.
Yeah, let's not pass it to Pickens or CeeDee. Let's run the ball. Like, no, it's not. That's not about to happen, man. You make a move like this to let everybody know we here in the NFC East to try to compete with the guys who just won a Super Bowl and the other guys that almost went to the Super Bowl against them. So I'm with you, man. We built that defense up right. You know, I know I'm glazing my Cowboys right now. I get it. And this is only supposed to be 25 minutes, Rock. So we're going to cut it short real soon. But I will say, me personally, I'm with you on the boost for all three of the guys. The running back room, I think, takes a hit because now with a guy like Pickens, man, you can't just say they're going to run the ball when it's short at 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3 because you got CeeDee going across the middle when they throw it to George Pickens or whatever the case. So it's wheels up, baby, in Texas. All right, Texas toast is in the oven, man. We ready to get it cooking, baby.
So I don't have too many more questions for you right now outside of the one last thing I was going to say before I got to that question, what we're going to be paying for him. Where would you rank this wide receiver duo in the NFL right now? I think that's kind of fun to talk about.
That's a good question, bro. So I guess that's how we're going to close. I know Red brought up Dak price for contenders. This receiver room right now. Well, we got
we got Puka and Adams.
I was just about to say
we got Devontae and AJ Brown. We have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I think those ones are solidified still in the elite tier.
Yeah, and we got to put quarterback situations included with that too, because that counts. So I'll just say this: me knowing my team, I will put the Bengals first because you can't not put that offense.
Those three are solidified. I don't think. Are you jumping maybe any of those three? No.
I'm gonna say this. I think the Cowboys are gonna throw more than the Rams. I think the Cowboys are really gonna throw more than the Rams. So I would say production. I might go Cowboys behind the Bengals, bro. I mean, you could put Minnesota up there too. Because, bro, if you look at, I say this all the time. The reason why when he had Kellen Moore, we threw the ball way too much. But I believe you make a move like that to keep saying we are going to keep throwing the ball. So I think production-wise for the season, I will put them right up there with the Bengals, bro. I think they're going to air this out. It's going to be crazy. I mean, Kyron Williams, you can't keep throwing the ball when you got a running back like that, right? We don't have anything close to a Kyron Williams in Dallas. The Minnesota Vikings, they got J.J. McCarthy. I can't put him up there with Stafford and Dak. And so I would say, man, if I had to put it up there, Jalen Hurts, it would have been Hurts if Saquon wasn't on the team. You know what I'm saying? They're going to run the ball a lot. So if I got to put it up there for two receivers to X out at the top, it got to be right behind the Bengals with Dallas with me, bro.
You know, the more that you talk through that, because in my head, I was like, there ain't no on top of those teams. Mm-hmm. But I think that they do top at least the Eagles with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, because I would take Dak Prescott as far as just pure passing
for sure
over Jalen Hurts. But I can't put them ahead of the Rams. I think at the very best, they tie.
I'm with you.
Because it's Puka and it's Adams.
I'm with the Rams too, baby. It's all good. I just think Kyron Williams and him being on that goal line, getting touchdowns and running the ball. I trust. I would take Kyron Williams for all three of our running backs combined right now. So me knowing that, and I think Sean McVay is who Sean McVay is. I'm gonna roll with the Cowboys at the 102 on that one, though, Rock. So
how do you think we just close out this show? Let's just go through any comments that we missed.
Yeah.
And answer any questions.
Yep. So Red, he said, "What's the price on Dak? What we paying, Playboy?"
So right now, I'm very surprised where he's ranked right now. Guess where he's ranked? QB what? On KTC today.
Today, I'm gonna give him 16.
No, it's not even close. He's QB 22.
Nah, hell
he is behind Jared Goff. He is one spot ahead of Jackson Dart.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
I would put him with where he's at right now. I think he is firmly ahead of Goff, and I would put him in the Baker Mayfield, Brock Purdy, J.J. McCarthy, T-Law tier. maybe even Jordan Love. I'm not sure if I can rank him ahead of Bo Nix or Cale Williams or Justin Herbert yet.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, Rock. I think he was already there for us. If you look at our mock drafts, he was always around JJ McCarthy and T-Law. You know what I'm saying? So I think,
but he was always going after them.
Oh yeah.
Never went ahead of them. Now I think he has a chance to go ahead of them.
He does, especially if I'm in the draft, man. You know, feel me? So, yeah, I like that one, man. So, Red, I don't know of a price tag, but I will say
two firsts. I would be willing to pay 2 firsts or maybe a lower quarterback plus a first. Here's the only thing. We have seen him have a top 5 season and no one cares. For whatever reason, you and me are just completely different from the rest of the space where we love Dak Prescott.
For sure.
It's just because I think of the star on his helmet that people hate on him. I don't understand why they hate on him. So just be careful. If you are going to be paying those 2 firsts, be okay with him for the rest of his career. Because
nobody gonna want him for that. You're right.
No one's gonna want him for that.
He could be the number 2 quarterback after the season, and nobody's still gonna want him.
No one's still. Yeah, it's awful. But
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can leave with that, man. You know what? Let's leave it with the show is about George Pickens. What's George Pickens' trade value right now? And we'll leave with that one. Give me a trade for George Pickens, a realistic one before he touches the field with the Cowboys. You're a receiver needy team, and you looking to, chip in and see what you got.
So it's still my policy, no matter what happens in the offseason, I never trade for players because you just never know with injuries or anything like that. I always like to wait until a few weeks into the season. So I had to first start off with that. But if you do not follow that same prescription that I do, then I would be willing to trade either 2 seconds plus or a late first in your upcoming rookie draft, because I think that's around the same price that, I would still probably prefer T. Higgins over him, but both of them were my buys from last year. So I still think that they both have a lot to offer. And then as far as I did all this research and I forgot to say, in points per game, he was 40th last year. We're talking about Pickens. He was 14th in target percentage. He was 22nd in targets per route run. He had 10 contested catches, 1,500 air yards, which was 13th in the NFL, and it was 28th in yards per route run. So I think he's solidified as a back-end wide receiver too. And at that price tag, he's going to be worth a late first.
Well, it's going to be good to see what he go for next Tuesday night on our mock drafts, baby. Mock drafts every Tuesday night, 7:25. We on this channel. And, hey, this is a good one, Rock. Glad we had to pop out with this one. We got a new subscriber. We appreciate you for coming through. And
what the hell?
Hey, we this thing, Rock. Give the people something before you leave. Words of wisdom, or we just gonna close it out? How you want to do it, Playboy?
I just want to say I'm glad to be back. Theo gave me a shout out. He was like, "Where the hell is T-Rock? He's not on this draft stream?" I'm glad to be back, man. So it was awesome to be able to jump on this breaking news with you. So that's all I got.
I'm glad that we got a chance to get on some breaking news. We both was off, and sometimes I don't like waiting until next week to break the news that everybody else then filtered in and gave this. But we here today, we gonna get it popping today. So I guess we out of this thing, man. So we appreciate y'all. Make sure you like and subscribe. Like we had the new guy come through. We appreciate you, my brother. And hey, man, give us one of them things for the ones that don't know, Rock. We out of this thing, baby. Put your watches up. We going out of here. See you next week.